If you thought Australia was all about gorgeous sandy white beaches, tanned people, and the best outdoor experiences, you'd only be half right. While the massive country has all of that, it's also got a bunch of things you might not be prepared for at all. In this video, we've put together a few reasons why you should never visit Australia, so let's dive right into it. First up, it's the animals. We're just going to get straight to the point and let you know that Australia is actually home to some of the most dangerous animals and poisonous insects on the entire planet. If that wasn't enough to deter you from planning your next visit, let us tell you a fact. The dangerous animals found in the vast region are scary enough to actually kill you. In fact, even the ones you thought were cute, fluffy, and harmless are probably the most deadly ones. So if you really have no objections to being attacked by a native furry friend, then by all means plan the next trip out. Up next, snake-eating crocodiles. Speaking of dangerous animals, the crocodiles in this region are no joke. These giant reptiles are vicious enough to eat entire snakes. Yes, you heard that right. Giant crocodiles eating whole entire snakes is pretty much the standard there. Last year, a video of a giant saltwater crocodile chowing down on a snake was captured by tour guide David White, which went viral on social media. The croc was seen slowly ingesting the snake for hours in North Queensland. The tour guide clarified that a file snake can take hours to eat, and well, all we can say is we feel sorry for the poor snake. Now, the redback spider. Who doesn't love spiders, right? Wrong. If you love spiders, we're sorry, but there's something seriously wrong with you. These venomous creatures are so small that you could never imagine that they would actually be deadly. They're responsible for a large percentage of bites in Australia. This spider bite alone can cause severe consequences like nausea, headaches, vomiting, and excessive sweating. Being bitten by the redback spider sounds nasty, but imagine this is only one species. Australia has tons of species, and each one is deadlier than the other one. In fact, you'll find spiders everywhere. Yes, they'll even crawl out of your toilets to haunt you. We only wish we were joking. Moving on to the eastern brown snake. Did you know Australia is home to like 21 out of 25 of the world's deadliest snake species? The eastern brown snakes are one of them and the most commonly found species in the land. They're also super dangerous and known for their angry temperament. If you ever come across one, we'd suggest running in the opposite direction and never looking back. In fact, just leave the country altogether. A single bite from one of these guys is enough to cause venom-induced consumption coagulopathy, more commonly known as blood clotting. Kidney failure, cardiac arrest, and paralysis are likely to follow. All that, and guess what? They're only the second deadliest snake found in the country. Let's talk about the sun. Do you really want to visit a country where the literal sun is your enemy? If you're still not convinced, Australia has the highest rate of skin cancer and mortality rate in the world. The country essentially lies under a hole in the ozone layer, giving the sun direct, unfiltered access to the people. The ultraviolet rays being showered on Australian citizens are unlike anything else. During the summer season, the Earth's orbit brings Australia even closer to the sun, resulting in an additional 7% UV intensity. Yikes! Coming up next, the weather. The weather in Australia is notoriously unstable and unpredictable. You could be tanning in the sun one day and have reports of a cyclone the next. Like the rest of Oceania, the country experiences its fair share of weather events. On average, you'll find 10 to 14 tornadoes and hurricanes that hit the country each season. Frankly, it sounds exhausting trying to keep up with Australian weather. Also, the summer and winter months are totally opposite to what you're used to. It's summer from December to February and winter from June to August. Crazy, right? Up next, the plants. If you thought animals were the only thing you'd be looking out for, think again. Even the plants in the country are insane enough to almost kill you. The innocent-looking plant in question is called the gimpy, among numerous other names, and can grow to 115 feet tall in the rainforests of Australia. It can cause an incredibly painful sting through tiny hairs covering its leaves and stem, which inject venom straight into the skin. Even morphine has been known to be ineffective against its venom. One scientist described the stinging sensation as being electrocuted and burned with acid at the same time. Sounds just about accurate. Following up with the oceans. Swimming in general is considered highly dangerous in Australia, thanks to the many aquatic terrors lying below the surface of the water. For certain times of the year, it's even strictly prohibited to swim because the currents can be deadly and sharks are just waiting to catch you in the act. They're found in both oceans and rivers, and while management has been putting nets to protect bathers, people in the country have died from shark attacks every single year. Now, the Australian drop bear. The fabled drop bear, cousin of the cute and adorable koala bear, has become Australia's most notorious carnivore. Just because they're cousins doesn't mean the drop bear would also turn out to be as cute and fluffy as koalas. As the name suggests, drop bears are known to be vicious, clawed, carnivorous creatures that unexpectedly drop from the trees to attack you. While there's been much debate about whether they actually exist or are just part of a made-up tale to scare tourists, we think we'll take our chances and consider them real for now. Can't be too careful. Let's learn more about kangaroos. When you think about Australia, you automatically think about kangaroos. It's natural, right? But the famous Australian marsupial marsupial isn't as harmless and docile as you would think it'd be. Male species of the red kangaroo are known to grow up to 2 meters tall when standing upright and can weigh over 100 kilograms. A single kick from these kangaroos is enough to practically tear open human flesh, and if they kick you in the stomach, consider yourself gone. Kangaroos are very alpha, and they assert their dominance by wanting to fight with you, should you get in their way. If you think you can just run away from them, they're most likely to outrun you, so good luck with that. Next up, you can get attacked by large birds. The list of animals that want to kill you in Australia is a really long one. Hey, we told you about this one in the very beginning. There are literal signboards on the road that will warn you about large birds attempting to knock your car off the road. Just your average day in the big country. One of these birds, the cassowary, may look like a pretty pink, blue, and purple bird, but one look at the size of their claws is enough to send you running in the opposite direction. While cassowaries are usually shy, human contact can set them off and become downright dangerous. They can grow up to 180 centimeters and can run as fast as 31 miles an hour. So they're not only massive, but they're also quick and come with sharp claws. You'll need to steer clear. Not to mention, restaurants close early. Don't expect to run to your nearest McDonald's if you get the munchies late at night. Other than Sydney or Melbourne, most restaurants tend to close up shop by 8 p.m. in almost all of the country. Sounds ridiculous, right? Australians don't care if it's the weekend and you're craving that taco or a Big Mac. They'll start early and they'll close even earlier. So if you were thinking of taking a couple of friends out for dinner at 9 p.m., forget about it. Back during the days of World War I, the locals even had a slang to describe it, the 6 o'clock swill, meaning to buy drinks in a last-minute rush before the hotel bar closes. Imagine getting off work at 5 p.m. and the bar closing by 6 p.m. Finally, it's not easy to get around. Most visitors don't tend to realize just how big the country actually is. It's not easy at all to get everywhere. As a tourist in the country, you want to visit a number of places and significant cities, and most of them are quite far apart from each other. Public transport isn't really helpful since it's pretty much non-existent, since most residents own a car. It's less likely to be available on the weekends, and not to mention, it can also be quite steep on your pockets. Well, now that you know you won't be visiting the Great Barrier Reef in one day, are you reconsidering your options? We strongly suggest that you do. That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any thoughts about these reasons not to visit Australia? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.